just to make sure. And, of course, we're going to have to reconnect here in about, probably about 5 minutes. Just in time for the fourth quarter.
Yeah, if you turned around and you got away from the turnovers and the kickoff return for a touchdown, Cleveland's actually statistically more than even in this game.
Yeah.
But they're getting killed by penalties, and they're getting killed by big plays.
Right. I think so. I'm hearing something in the background there at your side, maybe. Either your side or maybe Kenny's. I'll mute Kenny.
Yeah, I have my wife in the other room, but I don't know if she's coming through.
Huh. It doesn't let me mute Kenny.
Okay, so.
It sounds like a woman's voice. It might be your wife.
It is probably my wife, yeah.
Yep, I keep mine on a different floor when I'm doing this. This is in my office, which is in the basement, so.
Well, I have a basement. It's called a pool. We're here in Florida, so. Yeah, you can't dig too deep before you start hitting water.
No, you can't have basements in Florida. Where do you live in Florida?
Not too far from Tampa, actually.
Okay.
Actually, north of St. Petersburg.
You're over on the Clearwater side.
Yes.
Yeah.
Largo. Actually, the city of Largo. Yeah. I don't tell people that because they almost always say Key Largo down in the Keys.
Beautiful area.
Yeah, I 3.5 miles from the beach. Got a decent sized yard. Dog can play.
I am in the Shenandoah Valley.
Oh, okay. So you're
Virginia.
Virginia. Okay, that explains why you say you're from
Washington D.C. That's right.
Yeah. And here come the Rams on a drive again.
Yeah. 1st and 10. We're going to have a disconnect here shortly. And we'll go ahead and reconnect when that happens. Get the rest of this up for the website for replay as well. Give everybody a good chance to scout the hell out of Kenny.
You know, they probably should have done that before the fourth quarter.
Yeah. Always next season, though.
There's always next season. Well, it just seems like almost every one of these leagues where they the base players that come from the real NFL teams, the Rams are always up there. And if you take, good talent with good coaching,
right,
that's a tough combination. And as they keep driving down the field, 1st and 5. Ooh.
Yeah, they do. It's
and they got Henderson, who's got a good yards per carry, and he's only carried the ball 4 times so far, and he's
amazing.
So it's a good way to go down the end of the tail end of a game with.
Yeah, because now, if he gets his touchdown here, or even if it's just a field goal.
He's eating the clock and he's taking up time and he's making it impossible to get 3 scores.
Right. Yep. If he gets the field goal, I think it's out of reach.
Well, I don't think you'll ever hear the term slinging Taylor's Heineke
No.
running around.
Heineke. Up here, the Commanders are the team. Me being a Cowboys fan, I have to listen to it. But they've got no place to brag because the Commanders are not that good. I mean, actually, they've got a pretty good defense. Heineke, he's only going to go so far.
I mean, I've often called that like the curse of Matt Hasselbeck, where you've got a quarterback who's good enough to get you a middling record, possibly
Right.
compete for a playoff spot, but you'll never suck enough to get a really good quarterback.
Right.
And it took after Matt Hasselbeck, it actually took them drafting a short quarterback in the fourth round in order to, what is it? Russell Wilson, what, third round, fourth round?
Russell, I forget.
But it's tough to get lucky in mid-round quarterbacks.
Yeah. So they got the field goal. It's 30-13. 9:44 left. Going to be tough. Some things really need to fall the way of the Browns for them to pull this out.
Yeah, I mean, and this is a time when I've played against like guys like Aaron Donald, or I had him on my team. This is where he really starts to show up. I mean, now granted, they got that offensive line, but you don't get to dominate near as much.
Right.
And there's just really no great matchup pass-wise that they can go back to and put the numbers in their favor because of that secondary.
Yeah. And let's see. And Heineke still doesn't have 200 yards, and against this Rams offense, that's bad news without seeing the rest of the game.
Yeah.
None of his receivers have 5 catches. Raymond's got the most with 4. But, he had a run of, bad things happen. How many interceptions did he have? At least 2.
Yeah. I mean, he had the 2 interceptions, and then he got 1 called back because of offsides. Because there's that one in which would have been a pick.
Then he had run back for a touchdown, right?
Yeah, he had a pick 6 on there, so they had a pick 6, and then there was a third interception that got called back. So I mean, Cleveland's had some bad breaks, but then again, sometimes other teams make those bad breaks.
I think Calvin's in Florida this week, isn't he?
I know he's on vacation.
I think he's on the plane. Yep. So we're going to have to reconnect. So let me put this up here to picture of the week. Here we go. Start. Okay, so if you're listening, Kenny, you'll need to admit. There's Ken. He'll need to reshare screen. And there it is. So here we are back to
either that was a very short drive. Ooh, touchdown. I was going to say that was either a very short drive for Cleveland or there was another for another turnover. 3 interceptions. So I see now. So
yeah, 3, almost 4. 7:58 left. 37-13. Hey, Cleveland did better than I could. They got to the Super Bowl.
hey, yeah, I mean, well, no, I mean, I was scouting teams in my division when I first joined the league, and Cleveland's in that division, and they've got a good squad. Like I said, Taylor Heineke is probably the only thing.
Oh, here we go. The Browns just informed Heineke that he has been released. Oh, my.
He doesn't even get a shower.
No shower. Just get the hell out. He doesn't even get to ride the plane home.
Jacoby Brissett. Yeah. Something tells me he's going to be playing a lot this next year anyway.
So, speaking of tough breaks, the commissioner, Doug, has been in the championship game twice with his Chiefs and lost both those games.
And for guys who, I've noticed a strange trend. See if you may have noticed it, where when they start off leagues where you get to pick teams, it's amazing how the commissioner a lot of times has Kansas City. It's a kind of phenomenon.
It's just coincidence.
I know. It has nothing to do with...
What a commissioner usually does is he puts all 32 teams in a hat and draws, and whatever team he comes out with, that's the one he gets.
Yeah, that's the same way that they did with the New York Knicks back in the day when they got Patrick Ewing. They said they froze the envelope.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
For some reason, they didn't want the Magic or the Charlotte Hornets to get Patrick Ewing.
Yeah, that's how I got the Cowboys in both leagues. I just put the names in a hat. Both times I came out with the Cowboys.
Amazing how that happened.
It is. And look what it's got me. Counting all Patriot leagues, going back to the 90s with Football Pro, then moving to Madden, and then adding the Action PC leagues, we have had a total of about almost 80 Super Bowls. I've been in one. Lost it.
Well, just think how sweet it'll taste when you get that.
Yeah.
And you're just hoping you're young enough to where you'll be able to remember it.
Well, I'm kind of there now. So. I'm almost there now. How old are you?
I am 57.
I'm 63, so 6 years over where you are. They say that 50 is the new 40. I've been 40 and I've been 50, and 40's better.
Yeah, amen to that. For some reason, I've gotten to know the name of my urologist, so that's
and he's gotten to know you.
That's it, yeah.
The proctologist.
Yeah, well, I'm going to say, it's like, yeah, they, normally, you would have to pay somebody to do what that urologist does, when you go in there, but,
yeah, I'm well acquainted. I'm well acquainted with 3 a.m. That's when I have to get up and take a piss. So that never used to have to happen.
Yeah, well, the dog takes advantage of that. It's like, hey, since you're up and I'm up,
can I go outside?
Yeah.
Well, we live in the country, so we have dog doors. They can go all the way out into the garage and then out of the garage to outside. And like I said, we live in the country, so they're allowed to just go out whenever they want to.
Well, I have a bull mastiff, and so I've learned that she, even though she's a total teddy bear, people get scared of her. So
definitely.
If you leave her out there, it's kind of like you start scaring the neighbors.
Well, we have one larger dog. He's not that big. I mean, he's medium size, above knee height, and we have a wireless collar on him. So once he gets to the edge, starts getting to the edge of the yard, it starts going beep, 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 and he knows that is going to be a shock if he goes any further. 2 sacks for Aaron Donald.
I was going to say, the fourth quarter seems to be, I don't know how Dave does this game, but there's a lot of NFL tendencies he does manage to get incorporated, including the thing where, like Aaron Donald, if you look at a lot of his sacks, they're at the end of the game.
Right.
he's making an effect during the beginning part of the game, but most of his stats are at the end of the game, where either he's shutting you down or it's really really tough to play him if you're not in shotgun, and you almost always have to roll.
Yeah.
But then again, I don't usually have an offensive line with a 10 and a 9 sitting there.
Yeah, I don't. I do typically, because I've had Dallas, and Dallas has usually a couple really good offensive linemen. So I typically have an okay line. So they went forward on fourth down. They did not get the first down. So the Rams have the ball now, and it looks like they're just going to run the clock out and get themselves another victory. So it looks like for sure here that Kenny's going to win this Super Bowl. And that makes him 2 seasons ago, was it? He won in the PAFL. And then here this season. So that's 2 recently. One more, and we'll have to put the Hitman on him.
Well, like I said, on this particular game, you can't say that Cleveland, they were out, it was bad coaching. It was just
no, terrible breaks.
Terrible break. I mean, again, I'll bet you if you do a statistic and you go out there and you look at the team that gets a kickoff return for a touchdown, they win 80% of the time.
Yeah. Let's see. Goff was terrible. Thanks, congrats on making this far. Could have gone either way. Browns just informed Heineke's been released. So maybe someone will pick him up. Heineke's not done too bad this year. He's going to be better this coming year than he was last year.
No, I mean, and he is in a salary cap type league like this. He's actually the type of quarterback you wouldn't mind having, because he can actually sit there and make enough plays for you, as long as you've got other guys around him. Yeah. Use your salary for, use your money for better O-line, maybe an extra wide receiver, maybe a running back, a shutdown corner. And if you can get those things in there, you can make a Taylor Heineke look pretty good.
Sure. Yeah.
I don't know what his quarterback rating is this year so far, but I'm sure he's in the up around 90 something.
So here, I think it's Kenny saying, thanks, Lynn, for the broadcast. Thanks to the commish for a great year. He says, if I can do it, anybody can. Well, I don't know about that. You're a pretty good coach. But that was a good game. I enjoyed it. And, I was going to call you, and I thought, well, I don't know if I want to bother him or not. I did ask Calvin earlier, and he wasn't going to be around. And I thought, well, I should call Joe. And then I got busy trying to set things up. And even after I started, I was thinking, I'll still just give him an email and see if he wants to join us. So I'm glad you did stop by, because I needed help.
I was just watching, and it's like, actually, my wife was thinking of going, because we'll watch a lot of YouTube, and so we'll sit there and show. She was like going through the channel, and she was watching her Disney Food Blog channel, and I saw PASFL live. I was like, oh, that's going on right now. Let me go in the other room. Yeah, that's very typical. Right. I'll be in the bedroom and she'll be in the living room, and I was watching it, and then when I was watching when you missed that. The kickoff return for a touchdown, I was like, ooh. Yeah,
that's how I knew you were there. I was like, oh, there he is. Once you said it was you, I thought it was him.
Oh, no, that's why I thought at first, because I was like, because you remember when you had called when I was having that mic problem, I still had your phone number, so I scrolled down to find your phone number, saved your name this time, but then I went ahead and I said, yeah, that was I was just trying to give you a heads up to what was going on, so that way when you came back on there.
Yeah, and I'd given him my phone number too, just in case he needed to talk to me about getting hooked up. And that's why I thought it was him, that he was just, texting me and saying, whatever it was. And then you texted back and said who you were. I was like, hey, log in. All right, I guess that's all we got to do tonight, right? I'm going to stop streaming here. So
Ken, good game if you can hear.
Yeah, good game. So we'll see you for other pay dirt shows for the PAFL and PSAFL as well. Next season, I think we'll probably do some more for that one too, won't we?
Oh yeah, I enjoy doing the shows. I mean, as long as people don't get tired of hearing from me.
Right, so. Exactly. All right, that's it for tonight. We'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.